All right. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Or do you guys want to fuck around a little more? No?
Oh, yeah. I think I'm ready now. You've got us
No,
focused.
wait. I was thinking about it, but give me a minute. No more fucking around.
Buckle up, literature fans. We're in for some boozy bookgasms today. Join three cousins creating a titillating headspace where steamy romance novels collide with strong cocktails. So, sit back, sip slow, and enjoy the ride.
Hey, all you boozy book lovers. Welcome back to Boozy Bookgasms. I'm Jen.
I'm Lynn.
And I'm Kim.
Today we are talking about a sexy reverse harem from one of my favorite authors, Lily Gold, called The Three Swedish Mountain Men. But before we dive into this delicious man sandwich, Kim, what are we drinking tonight?
Hello. Okay, the drink of the day is going to be Sex on a Snowbank. Because nothing says romance like freezing temperatures. Somehow it makes hypothermia look, I don't know, sexy? It is inappropriate for winter survival situations. However, I think Lily Gold took one look at sub-zero temperatures and said, perfect setting for a reverse harem. It's cold on the outside, hot where it counts, and pairs beautifully with these lovely mountain men. So super simple, got some Malibu rum, some coconut cream, all blended together. And just for funsies, I added some Swiss chocolate on the rim with some coconut to have the snow effect. So let's raise a glass in the heat where there is absolutely none. Enjoy.
Cheers. So we will open with our female main character. We'll call her Daisy at this point.
Yeah, that's her name.
Sure.
Mostly.
Kinda.
Sorta. She's just had a car accident while trying to avoid a moose in the Swedish mountains.
Mooses.
Mooses?
Mhm.
Meese.
The mooses.
There are
There's just
lots of
one
meese
moose.
up there.
Meesors? Mars?
There was only one
It was a
moose.
very big moose.
But we find out Daisy is running from a situation at home in Brighton, England. She's just been fired from her art teaching job at a high school. News crews are following her around everywhere, and someone spray painted whore on her front door.
Ew.
It's because of something her ex-boyfriend did, but we're not totally sure what it was, although we kind of can discern what it was based on the clues.
Yeah.
Seems pretty obvious. Yeah.
I felt like this town a little overreacted, but we'll get there.
Little
Well,
bit. I really fucking hate when people slut shame you and then they just continuously look up the video and talk about
Right.
it consistently.
like, why are you watching it
what is
still?
the absolute need of a person to spray paint your house, your car, and other things saying that you're a whore?
It just feels like such an overreaction. Like, I don't know why you would take the time out of your day
So
to send her
awful.
all of these
Right.
emails. So she's like running away from being harassed.
She got fired
Yeah.
from her job.
The parents of the students are sending her harassing emails. The news crews are following her around. Her parents disown her because they don't believe her, which at this point in the book, we're not really understanding.
It was like, what did she do? I
Right.
thought it was going to be awful, but
Mhm.
it really isn't that
No.
bad.
You still feel bad for her.
You do feel bad for her, especially in this moment, because she's stranded in Sweden because of the moose. There's a harrowing snowstorm, and suddenly a car pulls up behind her, and a Nordic god with a blonde beard and ice blue eyes, who she says might actually be Thor, comes up and tells her she drives like an idiot.
He's my favorite character for the
Yeah,
record.
it was pretty funny.
Every reverse harem has a grumpy guy who's like the last holdout. And for this story, that's going to be Cole. There is another gorgeous man at the scene of the crash named Eli. He's going to be our golden retriever. He's
Totally
very
puppy dog.
sweet.
That's what I was thinking.
Mhm.
He has auburn curls, is very charming and flirtatious. Daisy doesn't have a lot of time to oogle them, though, because they are in the middle of a severe storm warning. She kind of takes stock of her situation and has a moment where she's like, oh my God, I'm jobless. I'm in a foreign country. My car isn't drivable. My art supplies in the trunk have all been broken in this accident. It's like bad.
Yeah.
Her airbag has deployed. It's in her face.
Thank God the mountain men
It's not great.
pulled over. She would have been like a frozen
I know.
popsicle.
Who doesn't need a good mountain man?
I would take a couple.
Right.
Yeah, so Cole keeps yelling at her about how she drives like an idiot, and then he realizes she's dizzy from a head injury, and the storm is coming down too quickly for them to take her into town and get a hotel, so they decide they're going going to tow her car up to their place and she can stay with them. They don't really ask her. And she's kind of like, how do I know you're not kidnapping me? As if this isn't all of our secret dreams.
But they're basically like, you don't have another choice.
She figures she's going to die either way. She could die in the storm or these guys might murder her. So she takes a nap on the way to the cabin.
She's tired.
So inside the cabin, we meet our third guy, Dr. Riven. He is tall, of course, and dark skin, muscles, dark hair with an American accent. The other guys have Swedish accents. And he's wearing thick-rimmed glasses and holding a steaming mug. I can just see him in a flannel shirt. Totally. This is very picturesque, very Swedish mountain man. Cole asks Riven to give Daisy an exam because of her head injury, and they put her on the kitchen table, and they're all standing around her, and she notices how hulkingly large they all are. She said Eli is the smallest, and he's well over 6 feet. She's got a room full of masculine men there. Riven asks Daisy to give him her wallet so he can call a mechanic, and she gets really weird about it. They know she's hiding something, but they don't really push. He then asks her to take her shirt off so he can check to make sure she doesn't have broken ribs. And she's so not okay with it. I mean, I can't say I blame her. She just met these guys and they're trying to get her to take her shirt off. Buy me a drink first, you know?
You did get your car towed.
That's true.
Seems fair.
So Riven goes out to look at Daisy's car and she sits by the fire and starts crying. She's just completely overwhelmed. And Eli comes and sits next to her and promises her she's safe. And he starts massaging her temples and trying to put her at ease. And then suddenly he's like ripped off of her and thrown onto the rug by Cole. And Cole's like, we leave for half an hour and you can't keep your hands off her. And he's like really upset about it. And Daisy's like, calm down, psycho. He was comforting me. And she's clearly upset that Cole has Eli in some sort of chokehold. And Eli says, it's okay. We do this all the time. And then he swipes Cole's legs out from under him, making him topple over. And you can tell these are just a bunch of dudes living together.
Which isn't weird at all.
No.
3 straightish
Straight.
dudes.
Single, gorgeous Nordic gods living on the mountain in the snow. It seems totally plausible.
I'm just lucky I stumbled in. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They bundle her up and then they all go out to the barn to talk behind her back. And they confirm that car is dead. That'll need major mechanic work. And they talk about how she's hiding something and it makes them all a little nervous. But Eli wants to keep her. He's our golden retriever. He really likes her. The other guys are like, she can stay for now. We'll just get her into town tomorrow. So Daisy falls asleep on the couch and has a wet dream about having sex with all 3 of the guys. So we didn't see that.
A little foreshadowing.
Yeah. And then
Weird.
Eli wakes her up and asks if she's okay because she was squirming in her sleep.
Well, she slept through the night.
Yeah, she's exhausted. So they eat breakfast and Daisy tells them that nobody knows she's in Sweden. They confirm she doesn't have a boyfriend. Her parents have disowned her. She doesn't have any friends anymore. So like, she really could be murdered at this point. I mean, she's just kind of setting herself up for that, but they don't murder her. So they all go out to shovel the snow, and Eli and Daisy get into a snowball fight. And I have to say, like, he was lobbing some pretty hefty snowballs at her head, considering she just had a head injury.
I also thought that was very bizarre.
I was like, dude, calm down.
Knocked her over.
She didn't have a concussion, but they were like, go ahead and go to sleep. And then the next day, he's like lobbing ice balls.
Yeah, like really big ones.
He's a little immature.
Yeah, he's not the doctor, though. Anyway, they end up kissing and spending the afternoon flirting and playing cards and making out.
Eli is like the ladies' man.
He's the most girl crazy, and they weren't surprised that this happened. At one point, Eli says, hey, it's tingling. Daisy goes,
I thought that was so funny.
your dick? I'm like, calm down, Daisy.
No.
It turns out like Swedish mountain men called Tinkerbell tingling. Daisy has a Tinkerbell tattoo. So he ends up nicknaming her Tink.
Oh, that's cute.
So Cole's still being grumpy and rude and tells Riven that Eli made a move on Daisy and he's kind of mad about it. And Riven's like, are you really surprised? He looks happy. Get over it.
Yeah.
Cole says, I can tell she's lying about who she is and I don't trust her. And Riven says, don't worry, the roads will clear soon and we'll be able to get her into town so she can stay at the resort because she did book time at a resort. The roads aren't clear enough the next day to go to the big town of Karuna, but there's like a little village, so they head in there to get supplies. Daisy keeps getting messages from her ex, his name is Sam, that say, please, baby, give me another chance. I'm so sorry, I overreacted. And then she also gets messages that say, you should die, you slut. So she's still getting harassed. Anywho, we have a very busy day in the village.
Yes.
Riven sees some patients, and Daisy gets a quote from the mechanic. Unfortunately, the car's going to cost all of her savings.
Well, this is another chance. He asks for her driver's license, and she kicks Eli out of the car place because she doesn't want him to see her driver's license. And he's totally cool with it. He just walks out. He's like, no problem.
Yeah, they know she's hiding something.
He doesn't care at all, but Riven or Cole would have lost their minds.
They don't care. The reaction later surprises me because they know and they don't care at this point. So we get a conversation between Riven and Eli about a relationship that ruined all of their lives. That's a little foreshadowing too. Riven takes a call from his mom. They are clearly in a strained relationship. His parents are very wealthy and try to throw money at him to get him to visit for the summer, but he tells them no. Then an old drunk guy in town calls Daisy a whore.
In Swedish.
Riven has to run over and rescue her.
Like
Very aggressive.
calls her a whore. Not like, oh, you're a whore, move on.
He's trying to molest her.
Up in her business.
And he says in Swedish so she doesn't understand. I've been getting off to you. How much are you going to cost? My wife won't care. All in Swedish very loudly.
She has to ask Riven to translate it, and he kind of softens the message a little bit. He ends up taking her to lunch at this cute little saloon place, and they have a passionate kiss in the street afterwards. Eli finds them just after and asks her they're having fun without him, and Daisy gets a little uncomfortable because she's like, I should feel guilty.
Well, she's now kissed Eli and Riven. But before they got to the town, Eli told Riven, I'm kind of missing something and maybe it's her. You don't really know that they've been in this relationship with this other woman yet. And I think that gives Riven almost permission to start looking at her differently. And they have that beautiful lunch in the tavern and then they kiss. It's very cute. I like the whole scene.
So back at the cabin, Cole gets Daisy to admit she's running from her life at home. Kind of confirms his suspicions. She tells the guys that her car is going to cost all of her money and they insist she stay with them until it's fixed. And then they offer to pay for it, actually. And she refuses, but she agrees to stay with them as long as Cole is okay with it because he's still being really grumpy. And he kind of grumbles like, all right, until the car's fixed, it's fine. Because she is starting to grow on him a little bit.
But he won't say.
Later that night, Daisy has a threesome with Eli and Riven. And it is really hot, but Daisy can't help but wonder why Cole doesn't want to join it.
Cole like me.
She wants them all.
Wow.
I'm like, Daisy, seriously?
So greedy.
These two hot guys, and you have to have the third one. That was kind of slutty.
She asked, would he want to join? They're like, he's kind of grumpy. Don't worry about it.
They're like, we're here.
Pay attention to me.
But afterwards, they snuggle up and sleep in the same bed. So this is very typical reverse harem. They get snowed in again, and Daisy and Eli have a fun day around the cabin, playing cards and making out. But then Daisy starts getting worried because Cole has been gone for a long time, and she sees him outside in the snow, struggling. She grabs a sled and runs out to meet him, but it's dangerous. The winter winds are really cold, and she doesn't bundle up properly.
She doesn't really understand where she is. Like, she packed a whole bag from Brighton, which is like a coastal town in England. And she's brought all these like short shorts and these not winter in the Arctic Circle clothes.
Yeah.
And Cole notices. And that's why he also feels like, what the hell is this girl's problem? Like, she drove all the way up to Arctic Circle with not even a coat.
Well, he's like, she's a moron. She's hiding something.
And she's an idiot.
Yeah, he's not impressed.
Well, and he's some sort of a ranger. And so he often sees tourists come in and
he's a wildlife
do
ranger.
really stupid things that hurt the animals, make mistakes that get them hurt. He's kind of anti-tourist. And at first, she's just a dumb tourist, even though she's kind of hot.
The whole time she's a dumb tourist. She just gets hotter.
She doesn't know anything about anything.
No, she just showed up there with no plan. Anyway, he's a total asshole to her. He tells her she's an idiot for going out in the snow and he has a bad injury because he's been bit by a husky. And he tells Daisy not to help him ever again. And the only reason his friends like her is because they want to sleep with her. So she runs off crying and Eli comes in and is like, Cole, what the hell's your problem? Why are you being a jerk? And then Cole feels kind of bad.
You don't think that ever crossed her mind that maybe they just like her because she's putting out? She was like, oh, they really like me.
After 3 days.
Not because I'm having a threesome with them after one day in the village.
It all happened very naturally, Kim.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry. I feel like it wouldn't be a, oh my God, how could you say that? And runs to her room and cries. I feel like it's like a, fuck you, like I don't know this.
Yeah, why are you judging
I
me?
think he's so mean to her because he likes her. So he's kind of pushing her away. He's been possessive
I think he's
and protective. And he's mad because she put herself in danger for him. And he was like, I didn't need your help. And she's like, fuck you, sure did.
Right.
But he's mad at her because she put herself in danger.
Well, fine. He has trust issues and she's hiding something.
Yeah.
And that's off-putting.
Well, they all have trust issues.
As they should.
Yeah. He makes her some canvases to paint on, and then Eli sets up an art studio for her in the cabin,
Oh.
which is very sweet because in addition to being an unemployed art teacher, Daisy's also a painter, like a pro painter, and people hire her, pay her commissions to paint landscapes, but she hasn't been able to paint because all her stuff was wrecked in the accident. So them setting her up is setting her up to be able to make these commissions to pay for her car. She's really excited about it. Throughout the rest of the book, she'll be in her art studio and there'll be a lot of art stuff happening.
But when she notices he's making the canvases, she can't sleep all night. And so she asks Eli while he's sleeping, like, do you mind if I go do a house project? And he's like, knock yourself out. So she finds a bunch of string.
She realizes that these guys who have lived in this mountain for God only knows how long have no safety plan in case there's a winter storm to find their way home. And it keeps her up all night long.
So she finds some hooks and some rope. She starts at the house. They have no idea what she's doing. And she's like, this house looks a little rough on the outside. I'm sure they won't mind if I just nail this big hook into the side of their home. No big deal.
It's fine.
Then she, ropes some string and then drags it down the driveway around a big tree, down the driveway around another big tree real tight. And then she gets into the barn, which is where the cars are. And that's where she finds Cole. And she's like, well, what are you doing? And he's like, take a look. And he had made all these canvases for her. And he refused to apologize for being a dick, but she knows that he's basically saying, I'm sorry by doing this. And then she asks him, you have that weird outhouse off to the other side of the house. Should I put this safety string over there? And he's like, no, we never use it. It's not a big deal. And she's like, well, I think you're wrong. I'll do it anyway. So she runs the string down the driveway, up to the barn, the house, and over to this outhouse. And it's like about waist high, really tight, so that if it's snowing, you can kind of claw your way, I guess, to each of the various points.
And it's got all the sailor knots that her dad taught her.
He asks her, how do you know all of this? And she's like, well, my dad was in the Navy. And he's like, are you close? And she's like, not anymore. So she gives away pieces of her story throughout, but then backs up because what she doesn't want is them to look her up. And she keeps saying, they can't look me up. They can't look me up because then they'll know.
She tells them she's from London. She lies about where she's from.
Yeah, her name is different. We don't even really know. We know it has to do with a boyfriend. We know it has to do with sex, but we don't really know either. So
you have a feeling there's a video involved.
Yeah, they'll see it. They'll see it.
Big picture, though, I'm having threesome. I think these guys are going to be put off with the fact that I might have a sex video.
She was so victimized by the whole thing. I think that she just wasn't thinking straight. Like, she didn't want them to think she was a whore.
When her whole town shunned her.
True, and her family.
Nobody believes she didn't do it on purpose.
I have a feeling this safety rope will come in handy later, but we'll see.
Little foreshadowing.
The next day, they go into the big town of Corunna. At this point, Daisy's been staying with them for 2 weeks. And while they're in town, they pass a lingerie shop and Eli buys Daisy a peach slip embroidered with daisies. And it was very sweet. It was a really cute little moment that they had. And then they run into the dreaded ex-girlfriend that they had all dated before. And she has a child with her. So we learned that Joanna was dating all 3 men. And that one day she decided she didn't want Eli anymore. And she planted cocaine in his car, and he gets sent to prison for this for a year. And the other 2 guys think he's guilty, even though he says he's not, and they kind of side with her.
I don't get that either.
And then she told Riven she really only wants to date him. I'm guessing because he's a rich doctor. But then the problem is I'm pregnant with Cole's child. Cole is like, I'm going to do right by this child. The co-parents, they make it work, falls in love with the child until one day a man shows up and says, this kid's mine. So Cole does a paternity test and he is not the daddy. Very Jerry Springer, you're not the father. But he's sad about it on Jerry Springer. They're like, yes.
He is. Because he had fallen in love with the child. They made up this kind of weird semi-family where Riven and Joanna were going to get married, but Cole was still involved with the kid. Eli's in jail. Now he lost the kid and kind of the semi-family that they had because Riven and Joanna don't need him anymore because they're all in love with her and they do anything for her. And then she just keeps screwing them.
Then they find out that she was the one who framed Eli.
Well, because Riven finds cocaine in her closet and basically starts putting it all together.
She completely imploded their lives. They end up all breaking up with her. She must have moved on with this other baby daddy.
Sure.
Like, as if 3 boyfriends wasn't enough.
Yeah.
But then they have to make amends with each other. Eli's in jail and they disowned him. They had to make amends with him and get Cole back. That's when they bought the cabin.
So then after he gets out of jail and kind of hits rock bottom, Riven goes and finds him and they buy this cabin and fix it up.
Cole was also a hot mess, like after he found out the kid wasn't his.
Yeah.
Riven did have to put the band back together.
But he did it.
He did.
And then Daisy found them.
She was the missing link.
They get back to the cabin and they tell Daisy all this. They tell her the whole story. She decides this is a good time to change into her new lingerie. And she starts having her three-way sex with Riven and Eli. And then Cole walks in and she kind of beckons him over.
Didn't she say, like, do you want to join?
And he's like, who, me?
This guy?
And she's like, yeah,
So
you.
funny.
So he joins the fun, but then afterwards, when Daisy asks for a kiss, he says, I don't kiss after sex. He doesn't kiss at all.
He doesn't kiss women at all. Well,
He was weird.
He's like Pretty Woman.
it's like too emotional to kiss you. It's too intimate.
She's like, I just had your dick in my mouth and you won't kiss me? He's like, no.
I will not kiss
See
you.
ya.
Goodbye.
Seems weird to me.
The other two guys cuddle her. She knows he's going to be a tough one, and she doesn't really get discouraged.
No, she knows
It
she'll
just
get
feels
in.
like a challenge to her. So they kind of slip into a routine over the next few weeks, and everybody's happy, but Cole still won't kiss.
He's kind of half in, half out anyway. Like, he's not always
He's only
a part
with
of
her
it.
if the other two are there. And I should say, this is not a sword-crossing romance like most reverse harems.
These guys are straight.
I was waiting for that. I think I even approached you, Jen, and I'm like, oh my God, is it because Cole's gay? Is that why? Is he really likes Eli? Is he jealous? And it wasn't. I was really
Mhm. No,
No,
surprised.
they're all straight, but they don't mind sharing or having sex together
No.
with her, but not with each other.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yes.
They have a talk, the three of them, and they really want to ask her to stay. But Riven's kind of the one that holds out. He's like, I just don't think that she'd be happy here. This is a small town.
She has a life.
She's going to feel trapped. This isn't for everybody. And then Riven gets a call from the mechanic that her car is finished. She's also just been paid the commissions for her paintings and can afford to get her car out of hock and move into the resort that she's reserved a spot for. So he goes to find her to let her know, and he's kind of sad about it. But then he stumbles across a painting that she's done of the three of them that is titled Home. And it moves him so much that when he does find
She thinks
her,
this is her home.
yeah, that's all he needed. He asks her to stay. He asks her to be their girlfriend and be in a relationship with them. And Daisy's like, yes,
I'm all in. Yay.
absolutely. They start to fool around, but then the radio buzzes in the other room. And, Riven, because he's a doctor, he needs to always answer that call.
Right.
Especially they were like paging Dr. Riven, are you there? So he had to run in and get the radio. The guy on the radio says he's looking for Jenny. And Riven says, you have the wrong number. But the guy's persistent. He keeps saying everyone in town says they've seen you with her. And he describes what she looks like. And then Daisy walks in and Riven asks, who is Jenny Adams?
It's me.
And Daisy's like, where did you hear that name? And Riven goes, from your boyfriend.
Boyfriend.
Daisy says, he's not my boyfriend. How can you believe him over me? You don't even know him. And Riven says, I don't even know you.
You. Bum, bum, bum.
So then Riven goes and grabs her purse and dumps out the contents and looks through her IDs and sees her name really is Jennifer Adams. He says, tell me the truth, God damn it. And Riven is like really, really mad. He tells her to stop crying and tell him who she is and why she came there, making them all care for her when it was all just a lie. She admits she lied about her name and where she was from and let me explain. And he will not let her get a word in edgewise.
She half lied about her name, though. Daisy is her middle name.
And her last name was her mom's maiden names. And she was going by this name.
to hide out.
For a lot of good reasons, for sure. So he goes to Google her and she freaks out and she keeps thinking like, oh, he's going to see the video. I can't handle this. She tries to stop him and then she just kind of runs out of the room crying. Daisy has this moment where she thinks to herself, I'm all alone again. And she bundles up and heads out into the deadly storm, thinking she's going to walk to the village and just catch a flight
Should be fine.
So meanwhile, Cole and Eli get back, and Riven has pulled up Daisy/Jenny's info on the computer, and they find the sex tape that her boyfriend made. In the first few minutes, they can tell she has no idea she's being filmed. This is not a porno. She is being filmed without her knowledge, and they stop watching because they just feel really icky about it.
It's dirty.
I thought that was appropriate.
A little
response. Yeah.
chivalrous.
good
Yeah,
of
I
them.
thought that was nice.
Yeah.
So they find the smear campaign the town did on her and how she was fired from her job, and that there was a big press release about it. Everyone turned against her, called her the slutty teacher. Somehow this made national news.
It was a big
National
deal.
news.
Big deal.
Yeah. The guys put the pieces together of what happened, and they're like, clearly someone did this to her and it wasn't her fault. They go to find her in the house, and instead they find a note saying how she's sorry for lying and she's going to go catch the next flight home, and they realize she's gone out into the storm. And Cole, he's our park ranger and he's the most qualified to go after her. So after some arguing that quite frankly felt like a waste of time because they spent 10 minutes fighting over who was going to go. But he convinces the guys to let him go out and find her, and they figure she's been gone about a half an hour. And Eli just keeps thinking there's no way she's alive. She's dead.
She's dead.
And she probably should have been.
She should have been. Yeah, for sure.
Cole finds her buried under a pile of snow near a bush. He gets snow blindness. Like, he goes out, doesn't even know where he's at, 10 paces out.
God, if only he had a plan.
If only he had a string. So he does dig her out from under the snow pile and behind the bush. And I guess the bush is the only thing that saved her. They find shelter in the shack
That she tied the rope to. He told her not to
on
do
the
it.
rescue route. And he's like, she is a damn genius. He realizes that was really smart. Once he gets in there, though, he's an Eagle Scout. He sets up a tent.
Quite the survivor.
He's got like all these meals in a can. He's got heat. And so he takes off all her wet clothes, wraps her in these warming blankets, and eventually he has to join her under the warming blankets for the body heat.
He's so brave.
I know. What a guy.
He finally gets her out of hypothermia.
Which was nice. Yeah.
And she's like, come join me. And he's like, no, you're dying. And she's like, not dying. I'm not dying that fast. And it was
Her
cute.
lips were blue. Like, it didn't look good. So they really start bonding in the next 24 hours. And Daisy tells him everything that happened with the ex-boyfriend. He basically released the video for revenge because she broke up with him. And he threatened to do it if she didn't get back together with him. And she didn't. And so he did. Cole tells her about the little boy that he thought was his son. And after some borderline bullying, in my opinion, from Daisy, Cole finally kisses her.
Yeah, it was bullying.
She's like, what are you scared of?
Yeah.
It wasn't that romantic, but
I didn't hate this. Like, she made him confront why he was doing it versus he was obviously scared to do it and scared to trust. And I do think it was bullying, but I felt like she was trying to get him to open up to her.
I don't know. I felt like I would have liked it if he did it without her asking. But
Right.
they try to have sex with her on top. She insists on it, actually. But due to the hypothermia that she's recently suffered from,
Problematic.
they had to change positions.
Yeah.
They didn't stop having sex.
No.
Well, she was just tired.
But they
Muscles
just
were sore.
swapped
Mhm,
places.
mhm.
So anyway, they got through it. The next morning, the storm clears up and they walk back to the house. And Eli immediately pounces on Daisy and kisses her and tells her how much he loves her. And I mean, he is the best golden retriever. He's just
He
so
was sweet.
freaking adorable.
It's okay, babe. That's all I hear in the audible. It's okay, babe.
Yeah, he did.
You like me, babe. I'm the best, babe.
She's snuggling with him and Cole on the couch, and Cole's like holding her hand. And Riven walks in and can't even believe it. He's never seen Cole hold anyone's hand ever. She starts to apologize, and he's like, no, this was me. I apologize. So they all snuggle up together, and then they go out and watch the northern lights, and Cole scrapes the snow off the roof so that opens the skylight. They lay in the bed and continue to watch the northern lights, which sounds just so cozy and romantic.
Very sweet.
Yes. And so flash forward 3 months later, and we are at the courthouse in Daisy's hometown of Brighton. The ex-boyfriend is getting sentenced to 2 years in prison for distributing her sex tape,
Wahoo.
which I felt was well deserved.
Yeah.
And
Same.
somehow they're able to get it pulled off the internet. So yay. But
yeah. Plot hole.
Plot
hey,
hole.
kids, this is not possible. Do not make a sex tape unless you're okay with them being in the universe forever.
Forever.
You never get it
It
off.
never goes away. But her parents, who disowned her, that we kind of talked about that before, are at the trial. And they're kind of like, hey, Daisy, good to see you. Want to come? No, they call her Jenny.
Jenny, yeah.
It's good to see you. You want to come home with us? Sorry we disowned you. You were in the right. And she's like, I think I'm good. Meet my 3 boyfriends.
Right.
Mhm.
After they disowned her for being a whore, now she's like, I'm
Right.
having sex with 3
And
men.
I'm shacking up with 3 mountain
So
men.
I was a whore. I just shouldn't have videoed it. I'm sorry to embarrass you.
I don't think she was a whore before.
Well, I don't think so either. But I mean, in the parent eye,
In their
yes,
minds.
they're like, she's a whore.
I just can't believe they disowned her for that tape.
I can't either. That's a lot.
That is when you need to be there for your kid.
I can't believe your parents would think you made the sex tape on your own and you distributed it on your own.
To get fired.
Reap what you sow?
Yeah. It didn't make
What?
sense to me either.
But I'm telling you, I didn't do that. I don't believe you. Why wouldn't you believe her? Like,
Why
that's
would
so
you be in a
crazy.
compromising position? Yeah, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
It doesn't track for me.
Debbie, she said that they just didn't believe her, that
Yeah.
she had just done it on her own.
And they just disowned her.
Crazy.
They're like, why don't you come home with us and we'll try to change your mind about the 3 boyfriends? And she's like, I've got plans. See you bye. Like, she really
Yeah.
doesn't
Nope.
give them a lot of time, which I don't blame her. I mean, they had left her in
Yeah.
her most dire time. So we do get an epilogue, which is how we know it's an HEA, Kim. And
Mhm.
Cole and Daisy are flying home after she's had a successful art show. Apparently, she's gotten quite popular. She's had multiple art shows in Europe. Cole's still a grump, but he adores Daisy, and you can tell. So it's like super cute. And the guys basically take turns accompanying her to art shows. So they've all given her a wedding band and had like a kind of their own little ceremony of sorts between the 4 of them. So she calls them her husbands. I thought that was really cute. And when they get
Super.
home, Eli pulls Daisy into a warm hug and tells her, we are just not whole without you.
Blech.
And Daisy said she's never been happier.
He says he wants to be the only one to go on her trips.
Oh,
with
yeah,
her
he was
again.
jealous that Cole went. He doesn't like to travel, but he couldn't be without her.
But he went anyway.
Oh,
But
sweet.
then Riven looks at her and her swelling breasts, and she thinks he might know her secret.
That's right. I forgot about the breasts.
The end. Yeah. So she might also be pregnant. We don't know who the daddy is.
Well, we'll know if it's Riven's.
Yeah, because he's black.
That's true.
Could be anybody.
That's actually one of my favorite parts when she was like, why would Joanne not just say it was Riven's baby? And he's like, well, because he's black. And she was
Right.
like, oh, duh.
And they knew the baby wouldn't be.
Those wouldn't
So
be.
she's
Yeah.
like, oh, I hadn't even thought about it. I love this author. For a light, fluffy, quick
She's very
weekend
cute.
read, this is a really fun author for me. I've read a few of her books. I'll start with Kim for ratings.
It was not my favorite book. I'm going to be honest with you. It was cute in parts, but I started reading it and then bumped over to the Audible, and I was not overly impressed.
The Audible was not good.
And I found little gaps here and there. I laughed a lot. I did like how you could not have had more diverse guys living in that cabin. You had Riven, the black educated doctor. You had the Nordic god park ranger. Then you had the free spirited skier. So different. So I did enjoy that. But overall, I think I gave it like a 3, which is not terrible.
Lily Gold isn't going to change your life.
I know she jumped in a little fast, a little heavy. You had this, I'm so upset because everyone thinks I'm a whore. Now I'm in a cabin with 3 guys I just met in a village in this mountaintop, and I'm letting them gangbang me.
She asked for it even.
She did.
Yeah.
So I don't know, a couple plot gaps for me, but
Well,
A 3.
I'd say a 3.
That doesn't surprise me. All right, Len, what did you think?
I give it a 3.5. It was a cute, fluffy, very easy read. I read it incredibly fast in 2 days. I agree that the Audible wasn't great. I started with the Audible because I was like running out of time. Switched over to the book. The book read really quickly, but there were some plot holes for me. It did seem fast. There were definitely some moments I wish the way she had connected the dots would have been better. And it was obviously quite predictable. You knew as soon as she hung the ropes, they were going to need the ropes at some point. Like,
Right.
very Hallmarky in that way. Like,
Oh,
where
yeah.
you could have written the ending if you had stopped midway through. But it was really cute. I feel like these reverse harems are always like that. The men are very different. She has their individual relationships. I love the characters and the somewhat character development, even though it was quite truncated, I still felt like I got a sense of who each of them individually were.
I agree.
Definitely. I also gave this 3.5. Like I said, I like Lily Gold. I've read a few of hers. And most of hers are reverse harems. There's one called Triple Duty Bodyguards that's better than this one. So highly recommend if you just need like a weekend read. It was quick. It was easy to read. It was adorable. It's like slutty Hallmark.
Yeah. But like you said, like good for like cold winter weekend by the fire.
Yeah. Based on the title of the book, you kind of knew what you were signing up for. All right, Kim, what'd you think about Spice?
Yeah, there was a lot of sex, but I only gave it a 2 in Spice because I didn't want to be there. I did not want to be there, and I just could not get into it. And it was awkward to me that it was so fast. It was like we kissed, then I took both of them. Boom, boom, done. I'm judgy. Sorry.
It makes you more fun, though. Yeah, we don't hate it.
Oh, thanks.
What'd you think, Lindsay?
I give it a 4 on Spice. I thought the spice was good. I liked the sex scenes. I thought it was fast, but it didn't feel like obnoxiously fast. I do agree with you, though, that with how devastated she was about all of the sex tape and the fallout from the sex tape and all of that, how she would very quickly get into this taboo romance and be so confident in her sexual prowess that she could do this coming off the heels of being so victimized. But if you can divorce yourself from that, I thought the sex was good. I liked the individual guys and how they interacted with her. Some of the sex scenes I had a hard time picturing how she was in that, like what position she might be in. And I will say that every time I read one of these reverse harems, I literally have to picture like, how is she sitting on him? Like, I don't get it.
The math is not mathing.
Someone like needs to draw me a picture. I do not understand. How is she getting her mouth around his dick when she has...
She is upside down, turned backwards.
But hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah.
So I will say a 4 on the spice.
I gave it a 3.5. I thought it was well written, not overdone for a reverse harem. Sometimes they can overdo it. And I thought all the scenes were hot, but they were kind of spread out. And I agree. They came in really fast. So I didn't feel like there was enough buildup. But overall, 3.5.
Okay. It was a short book, though, right? Like, how many pages
Like
was
350, I think.
I mean, if you count the epilogue. Okay, I'm just saying, why can't you just finish the book? Why does it have to be an epilogue?
Don't you want to know, like, 4 years later, did they stay together? Did they get
Write
married?
another book.
I do.
Are her breasts heaving with pregnancy? You want to know these things.
You don't need a book for one chapter.
I don't want to hear it. No, I'm out.
Whose baby is it?
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this one. It was a lot of fun. Be sure to check us out on TikTok, Facebook, Insta, and YouTube. You go to Buzzy.
Buzzy. You can go to Buzzy.
That's
We won't
you
be
can
there.
also go to Buzzy.
Go to boozybookgasms.com for reading lists, cocktail recipes, and episodes of the show. And until we meet again, happy reading.
Happy reading.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope today's episode was the climax of your day, leaving you breathless and wanting more. Until next time, remember to indulge in the pleasures of life and to keep the passion alive. You can find more tantalizing episodes at boozybookgasms.com. Enjoy the ride, and we'll see you soon.